Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a video about the Samsung Galaxy Tab S. Now this is not my update on it, you'll be getting that soon. I'm a little bit behind on my Tab S6 coverage. The good news is that I'm glad to finally be bringing it to all of you because the Tab S6 really is a best-in-class product. And I mean that across the entire spectrum. I'm talking to you, Apple, I'm talking to you, Microsoft. Granted, the Surface Pro is in its own class because it is a true computer, granted a low voltage one. That doesn't matter to the majority of users they pitch it to. However, if we step into their new Surface Pro X line, another story. But today's video is all about the keyboard. So I recently finally posted my unboxing of this keyboard, which was not today, clearly. But I wanted to share an update on it because even though in my unboxing I didn't actually take off the plastic part that attaches to the back of the keyboard case right here, what I want to address is that really unfortunately doesn't make that big of a difference. Now I was hoping user error, that equated to the poor results, and I had read all sorts of horrible things about this keyboard case combo. I mean, if you look online and the link that I'll include in the description at Amazon, the reviews are fairly brutal, but I can see why. When I first started using this case, of course, after removing the plastic coating that is on what appears to be an adhesive section right underneath the magnetic pen area right here, which, by the way, I love this design. This is apparently the only magnet, at least that I can detect, on the actual case itself. So then this adhesive kind of really just is a way of lining things up to get the magnet in place. It doesn't truly end up adhesing the actual back cover, which of course is critical because it's your kickstand. I mean, don't get me wrong, the keyboard is a tremendous improvement from anything Samsung has done. Oh, there's a Ruslan fur, with any tablet in days past. I mean, this is the culmination right now of the Android tablet market, and in my opinion, the whole tablet market. Because yes, we have things like, of course, the iPad Pro, both in 11 and 12.9 inch versions, and unfortunately, the Surface Pro comes into this contrast, which I don't see a true comparison because that is a full-fledged PC, not something running mobile OS applications. However, this does not stay adhesed. So there are times when it seems incredibly solid, like if you were actually brave enough, you could hold it by this, which I'm doing right now. A little scary, and I say that because I can't tell you how many times I've been working with this and in love with it, and then all of a sudden this entire piece just detaches, the tablet takes a hit, hits the table, countertop, and then I'm worried about, did the cameras get scratched or broken? Because yes, even though they're a little bit recessed, once this completely gets removed, you're up the creek, so to speak. So with that in mind, still didn't get rid of Ruru's hair there, and we'll have a pup here shortly too, so we're gonna see how that comes into play. But pets aside, family members in a way, of course. This thing is great, but I can't wholeheartedly tell anyone to run out and buy this because it is not consistent enough in holding itself up, which is really sad because this combination, once I actually did adhese it properly, post my unboxing and started putting it through the paces, I was convinced this is going to be my temporary mainstay laptop, if you will. It's not clearly a laptop, but tablet, lightweight, content consumption, desktop-like experience, sans Windows, but still full-blown Android. Yes, I don't have all the applications that I have with Apple when it comes to pen support. Again, just pulling the pen right here, and the pen is really good, and I do like what they've done here with creating this little slot. You know, you could try to line it up like I am now, or make your life easy, just drop it into the compartment, make sure the charge side is up, and boom, you know, it's back and attached. However, with all that said, as close as this comes to exactly what I would want in its form factor, price point, all of those things, because this still comes in less than the brand new Surface Pro X that's coming out next month. November 5th is the release date. It just happened. You just saw it live. It just dropped. So, and I've cleaned this already, meaning this. Now I'm going to show you because it's separated, as you can see. And this is the concern, you know, how much damage could you potentially do to this really beautiful piece of hardware, inside and out? I mean, the performance is stellar with this, well, that doesn't look very good, but that's for my finger, nearly 100, well, it is a $180 case. I mean, This is the only true solution if you want to be able to transition from tablet to a, I won't say laptop replacement, but certainly MacBook Air, Surface Pro X replacement. That is, or even a Surface, not a Surface Pro 7, but maybe, a few generations old. This is where this comes into place. And of course, the iPad Pro in both of its size dimensions. So seeing this fall off just now is exactly what I'm talking about. And I didn't try to make this happen. And that's kind of the point. You don't have to stress test it. And I've already wiped this with isopropyl to see if I could clean off, because if you touch this, there's really very little adhesive. And that's, again, what leads me to believe it's just a guide point for getting this magnet in place. And then if Samsung relied solely on this one magnet, there is the engineering flaw. A lot of people have said it's all magnetic driven. Other people have said it's a combination. I don't even think it's a combination. Again, I think this is purely so you can line it up properly with that, idiot's ability is kind of my way. It's like guidelines. But as clean as I get this, it is not sticking. People have videos talking about, oh, you have to adhese it, after you clean it, get it, put pressure for several minutes. I'm sorry, but I've been reviewing too many tablets, too many products in my life to know that no premium product requires this sort of crap. So I love the design, I love the functionality, but this has to be fixed. Now, I will be contacting Samsung about this. I would love to tell you it's because it's defective, but based on all the feedback I've seen online, seems like it's par for the course. And at $180, $179 US, it's not what I paid. I paid half of that with the pre-order. It's not acceptable. And the sad part is that this is a make or break feature for many of you out there, myself included, on whether or not the Tab S6 can really become not just your daily tablet that you're going to lean on, but your actual daily driver, replacing any other lightweight laptop that aims to have all-day battery life that you can take with you. Again, chief competitors being Apple. And the soon-to-be Surface Pro X, since that's also driven off of a Snapdragon chip, which although it may outpower the 855 in here, the fact that I've got 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage and storage expandability and a Super AMOLED display really makes it tough to look at a beta product, that's how I view the Surface Pro X, or an Apple product, which is inherently more expensive, inferior battery life, and when I say more expensive, I don't just mean the tablet, I mean buying all of the accessories, because remember, the pen is included here. But again, the keyboard cover, unfortunately, disappoints. Right now, I will try to get this RMA'd, but I don't have high hopes for my replacement unit doing any better. And this has already taken a number of falls because of this back cover. And the thing that tends to do it, this is the only feedback I can give for those of you that are going to stand by this product without even trying to RMA it, is that whenever you fold out this incredibly rigid kickstand, please make sure to keep pressure on this. If you simply try to lift this up while it's upright, that inherently begins to separate the case, because this is such a stiff point of axis here for it that it just the act of pulling up the bottom, if there's no counterweight here, inherently pulls it off. But overall, the actual keyboard, the actual trackpad, and the kickstand, when working and not potentially destroying the tablet, work beautifully. Do I wish we didn't have this extra gap? Sure. Do I wish we had a backlit keyboard? Absolutely. Dedicated DeX buttons, dedicated buttons of all sorts that simply didn't exist, and the trackpad itself now make this a complete computing solution in a world where Android tablets were struggling just to have identity, let alone the ability to actually replace competing products in the premium space. So that rounds out at least my current coverage of this. I'll update it once I get another one in my hands from Samsung. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.